One of the things that I like to use around the shop, you know, you can mix epoxy with it, you can spread wood glue, but you can also shim. If you ever run into a piece of furniture or a cabinet where something's a little tight and you have to shim it up a little bit and glue some wood in, getting a real thin piece of wood sometimes can be a little bit of a bear because you just don't have scrap like, you know, that thickness just laying around. So a lot of times what I like to keep around is a bag full of these popsicle sticks. They're really handy for shimming, for gluing, for stirring stuff up, but just keeping a big old bag full of popsicle sticks is something that's really handy around the shop. I once knew a guy that built a whole boat out of these things. Yeah, weird. Well, hi everyone, and welcome to Coffee and Tools and Fixing Stuff. Got a wood project in this week again. This one's been waiting for me for a while, so I'm finally getting to it. I'll be very pleased to get this one done. This is a rocking chair, and it's got some damage, so we're going to fix it. It's typical damage for rocking chairs, so let's take a look and see. Well, you know, nice rocking chair. What's wrong? Well, that's what's wrong. We're missing two pieces that were completely broke, apparently. And we got the rocking chair in. The rest of the chair seems to be in really good shape, so there's no problem there. But what's happened is these have gotten out in the weather, and they've cracked and got old, broke, whatever. Maybe somebody with a little bit too much butt pressure might have gone through. Could have happened. So what we'll do is we'll look at our options. And the options here are quickly. Obviously, remove at least one of these and take a pattern and then nail new pieces in. But the secret of success, if you're going to do something like that with this type of problem, is to keep the seat consistent with the person's butt. So to make the seat feel right and make it feel still factory or fresh or whatever, we're going to take two pieces off. I'm going to take both ends off, get a pattern so we can cut new pieces, and we'll have to make two new ones, obviously. But these two pieces here can now go in this slot when they're ready. That will mean that the original pieces, which will be across here, where really the main sitting areas of a rocking chair, will still be the original rocking chair pieces. So the new pieces, even if they don't come out just quite right or something off the bandsaw or whatever we use to cut them with, we'll still have good seating, consistent. The rocking chair will just feel normal to anyone sitting in it. So that's what we're going. That's what we're tackling this week at Coffee and Tools. And the first thing we're going to do, let's rip these off or pull these out and see what we're going to do. These are brad nailed in, by the way. The cool part of a brad nail is you can actually put the chair in a position like this, and what we'll do is we'll take a 2x4 and a little driving hammer. You can see that just took the brad nail right out. And the same thing on this side. We'll just have to, let's see, we have to move her a little bit. And no, we're looking pretty good. Again, just sort of, just light, easy tap. And there's that piece there out. So now we'll just turn the chair around. And I'll get this off the front. But what we're going to look for is just to sort of, there we go, take that one out with it because it is an old piece of furniture. But there we go. It's just brad nailed in at each end. And we'll sort of clean these up, and then we're going to take the profile here and we'll trace this onto a new piece of wood, and we'll make two of these, and we'll be good to go. So see you in a bit. Okay, now we've got the two pieces off. I put them in the center just to sort of take a look at it. And what I could see right away is that each and every one of these pieces is kind of individually made, and they're pretty inconsistent. So we will still put the other two pieces in the center, like I said, so that the seating is rather consistent. But to make the new pieces, here's the deal. It's quite a shape. It's got quite a curve in it, which is, I don't know if you can see that real well, but it's got quite the curve where your butt hits the seat. So what I'll do is probably cut some plywood strips that are this size, and we'll cut 4 strips all together, but we'll cut 2 strips for each of these pieces. We'll glue the strips together, lay them on top of this curve, clamp it in, leave it sit overnight, and come back. And the next day, those 2 pieces of oak or whatever that I used will have the exact same curve and shape and everything, and we'll just have to cut the length off at that point, and we should have it. So the next thing we're going to do is cut strips that are this size on the radial arm saw, and get 4 pieces of oak, plywood type oak, that we can form it. Lots of glue, and cross our fingers and all that, and you know, we should be good to go. Okay, this is just to give you an idea. There's the old piece of lumber, and there's a new piece of plywood. We've measured it up so it's about the same size as the saw blade here, and we're going to run this plywood through, and we'll cut, like I said, we'll cut 2 strips actually, and then cut them for length because the plywood's pretty long, and we should be able to get 2 pieces out of this. So there we go, right there, and that's what we'll be doing here in a second. Yep. We're going to need some glue. Notice I have a different glue bottle this week than I did the week before. We're also going to need some wax paper to protect the table from the glue, so we'll get that laid out right away. Always good to keep an old roll of basic wax paper around for glue jobs, just like this one. And then we're going to take there's the old piece out of the chair that we need to make a couple of pieces out of. And here's the nice new pieces of plywood I just cut. These are too long, but like I said, we have to cut this twice and, you know, get the pieces out of it that we need. So we'll start off with something pretty basic like that. And they're clamped into that profile and clamped to the back. And I've got glue all over the place, of course, like you're supposed to. And lots of glue. I actually put a little too much glue on this job, but that's okay. We can just wipe the excess glue off and sand it off if it gets hard. But that's really, I don't know if you can take a good look at that. And this basically equates to the profile of the seat. And these are just going to be the 2 outside pieces. Anyways, structurally even, I don't think there'll be too many people sitting on that right on the edge. So we should be good to go. Here we go. One of the things we're doing this week is we're trying out different cameras with these shots, just to see, you know, who does a great job. So if things get a little weird, it's just me playing around with different types of cameras. We're taking the clamps off now. It's been sitting overnight, and we'll see what kind of a situation we got with our profile here. And we're going to start the ordeal over again, and hopefully we can we'll get this. Now again, well, we'll just put some glue, lots of glue, lots and lots of glue. Big old smear of it. And you probably notice I do both. That's just sort of a make absolutely sure you got glue on everything when you're gluing. Yeah. Leave no stone unturned. So there, now we got the 2 pieces, and we'll bring them into place. And I'm going to put the may as well start real clean here this time, and we'll get a good grip on this with that, and sort of get, yep, there's the big profile there that we want, so we'll get into that and tighten it up. Good. Now this is the one that's the problem. So I'm using a really super strong clamp to sort of really force this profile into the wood a little bit. We're not going to get a great piece out of that, but we will get something out of that. Now I'm just checking this to make sure the rest of the profile looks pretty good. Yeah. These are the new pieces that I've made, and you can see they've got the funky curve or whatever in them, so they're going to be great. Just got to sand them up a little bit, and then we'll install them. Yeah, the sanding is going rather well, and in fact we're using one of these little gadgets. It's a little Ryobi sander. It's pretty neat. And with the pieces made, sanded, I think we're ready to brad nail these in and start some paint work, and we'll be done. Fabulous. Okay, the word here is going to be a little bit of fudge. If anybody wants to know how we measure to lay these up, I'll have to just say we sort of fudged it, because that's what we did. Like I said, these are inconsistent, and the angle is actually really right about, almost right about there. It's pretty good. And so we'll just sort of, like I said, brad nail them in and throw some paint on that, clean this up a little bit, throw some paint on it, and we're done for this week. This was rocking chair repair, so pretty fantastic. Gonna be a nice rocking chair for many years now. Here we go. Fabulous. Well, this week from Coffee and Tools, thanks everyone, and have a great weekend. I hope we will see you next week on our next project.